what are the best classes for weight loss? That is the question. Now, in terms of weight loss, there's one thing that you want to definitely prioritize, and that is strength training. So that is your first priority. But in terms of classes to do, you really want to be hitting a range. And this is why I really hammer home about how important it is to get a balance in your week. Now, why do you need to prioritize strength training? Well, when you're losing weight, you want to maintain as much lean muscle mass as possible. One, for that nice muscular, healthy tone. Two, because that protects our bone density and no one wants to fall over and break. We want to be a strong team. And three, because it helps our independence in later life. If we have muscle, everything else in life becomes easier. It really, really does. Standing up, sitting down, going upstairs, carrying shopping, lifting your children up or your grandchildren, running across a field, being able to get where you want to get. Independence is so, so key, and it's things that we have to think about now. Pay it forward, team. And the other thing as well, of course, is your lean muscle mass is linked to your metabolism. The more lean muscle mass you have, the higher your metabolic rate, to an extent. To an extent, a lot of people like to, it's true, a lot of people like to exaggerate the effect of that, but it is true. So it's important for so many reasons. But when we're on a weight loss journey, we want to protect our lean muscle mass. We really, really want to do that for our health, for our fitness, and for aesthetics as well, but for our health, fitness, longevity. So strength training is going to be the most important thing. Any of our classes that are red, that means strength. Any that are yellow means cardio. Now, cardio has a really important place, and that isn't just so, the more cardio I do, the more I sweat, the more calories I burn. No, it doesn't work like that, actually. It really doesn't work like that. And again, a lot of people over-exaggerate that. And there's a very big argument for the fact that you can actually burn more with strength training due to the metabolic effect and the strength work on our muscles because our metabolism will be higher. And then also the epoch effect. Anyway, I'm rambling now. This is what happens when we're live, everyone. You'll get Lorna's thoughts. But no, cardio is really, really important for your heart health, for your lung health, and for your fitness, for your cardiovascular fitness. And then the holistic side is so important because we want to be working on core strength and we want to be working on flexibility. When we have a weak core, we get injured faster. We get backache all the time. We don't hold ourselves properly. So we can't build from a weak base. So core strength is so important. And then also flexibility, mobility is really important. Therefore, you need to do it all on a weight loss journey. You need to do it all. Prioritize strength training, minimum twice a week, ideally 2 to 3 times a week, or just follow the timetable. I've got you covered. You don't have to think about anything else. In terms of weight loss, it's going to mainly come from your food. That's being in a calorie deficit, but not too much of one that we start to lose muscle mass. No, thank you. So that's basically what you want to focus on. Are workouts in the morning more beneficial for weight loss than later in the day? No. No and yes. So no, there is no real difference as to whether you work out in the morning or later on in the day in terms of weight loss. We lose weight or body fat through being in a calorie deficit. So that means that calories out are greater than calories in. Again, we're going to use our food for that and use our exercise for our strength, our cardiovascular fitness for our mobility, core strength, etc. It doesn't matter whether you do it in the morning or the evening. I personally think that sometimes there's a very good argument for doing it in the morning for weight loss though. Reason being isn't because it speeds up your metabolism for the rest of the day. No, it's not that. Reason being, and that's not even a thing, reason being is because I find that when we work out in the morning, we have more energy. And therefore, when we have more energy, we want to move more. We're less sluggish. Also, I find that it makes us make better choices later on in the day. When you've exercised, you want to fuel your body with good stuff. Like, we've done something good. We don't want to quote unquote ruin it all. Not that you would, but you want to make better choices. It's like having a positive knock-on effect. And sometimes exercising later on in the day, sometimes actually it doesn't end up happening because life is lifing, and people need us. We get caught up in our to-do list, and before we know it, we're making dinner and oh my goodness, it's 9 o'clock and it's ready to get prepared for the next day again. Sometimes it doesn't happen, or just we're so exhausted by the end of the day that it doesn't actually happen. So I also think by doing it in the morning, yes, it gives us energy, yes, it has a positive knock-on effect for the rest of the day, but actually also it means that we get it in and we get it done. But on the flip side, a lot of people find they have more energy later on the day or at the end of the day. And a lot of people like using exercise as that transition from work into home life. Or some people like to do it when the kids have gone to bed. You know, you find what works for you and stick with that. But in terms of what's better to lose weight, really, it just depends on what fits your lifestyle, because that is the thing that is going to give you the results.